My name is Greg Bogosian, and I love everything about New England. Each week, I travel the region with my film crew searching for adventure. And along the way, I visit the places and the people that make New England extraordinary. This is New England like you've never seen it before. This is the New England Traveler. Today I'm very excited because I was invited by Entertainment Cruises to check out their newly renovated Spirit of Boston ship. From what I understand, the Spirit of Boston just recently underwent a $2.5 million renovation. That's kind of cool. The plan today is to join the captain and the crew for one of their incredible dinner cruises. Honestly, I don't even know where we're sailing. I've never been on the Spirit of Boston. I've never been on a ship. I've never been on a cruise. Come to think of it, I really haven't done a lot. Heading over the Tobin Bridge right now. Always liked the Tobin Bridge when I was a kid. It always meant we were going someplace cool, like Fenway Park to catch a Sox game, or to the Garden to check out the Celtics or the Bruins. I don't know. I love the Tobin Bridge. And today is no different. We're on our way to do something awesome. There it is right there.
You've arrived at your destination.
I'm definitely excited about this dinner cruise, but I wonder if they'll let me drive this thing. Couldn't hurt to ask. To start off the trip, I met up with Anthony Vergucci and Bob Lawler of Entertainment Cruises to talk about all that the Spirit of Boston has to offer. What's the main reason why people would come here instead of just going to like a bar in town or a restaurant in town?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I truly feel that if you're looking to do something that's Bostonian, you're doing yourself a disservice by being anywhere that's landlocked. We have a beautiful harbor here. Why not get out in the harbor, experience a cruise, have some great food, but also enjoy the views, enjoy live entertainment, enjoy some games. Just come out and have fun. You get a lot of value with our product, and that's really what we have to offer here.
So it's dining, dancing, drinking, you get the 3 Ds covered, right?
There's something for everyone on this boat.
So you're basically in the harbor. This is a dinner cruise type of thing. It's a very impressive operation.
It's great, and it's a lot of fun, too. Nobody comes on here to have a bad time. They all come to celebrate something, celebrate a special occasion, have a party. Whether it's just a date night, you got a babysitter, and you're out with the wife. Everybody's here to have a good time. It's great to go to work in a place that you're always celebrating.
Now that I've learned all about the Spirit of Boston, I'm getting a little hungry. It's time to fuel up for the trip. Chef Chris here was nice enough to bring out some of the signature dishes that they serve on Spirit of Boston. So Chris, take it from here, man. Tell me what we got.
First up, we have the Asian-style braised short rib with garlic mashed potatoes.
It already sounds too good to eat, but I'm gonna eat it anyway, so.
Moving on over here, we have a garlic, parsley, panko encrusted salmon and tilapia.
Wow.
Over here is a herb marinated 8-way chicken. We have a Mediterranean couscous salad, traditional couscous with Mediterranean style spices. And lastly, one of the side dishes is a chili garlic oil roasted broccoli.
Take a small bite first, and I'm probably just gonna devour it. So the Asian short ribs, amazing. All right, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep on digging. I've heard a lot of people raving about the food on cruise ships, but I'm pretty sure they mean the Love Boat kind of ships, right? You know, mile-long buffets on a cruise to the Caribbean. Well, Chef Christopher Green has that beat with his delicious menu. If you only come for one reason, come for the food. We're gonna stop filming, because I'm gonna eat all this. Is it time to cruise yet or what? I'm heading up to the bridge to meet Captain Sean McGrath to see what it takes to drive a boat like this. I'm with Captain Sean McGrath, the Spirit of Boston. Captain.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So where we're going to be cruising tonight?
Tonight we'll be getting away from the Seaport World Trade Center. We'll be cruising on the inner harbor. We're on the backside of George's Island and then back on the inner harbor. That's our typical 3-hour cruise route. 3-hour cruise, not Gilligan's Island.
Let's hope it ends better than that.
Spirit call, Spirit of Boston, be back.
Getting a ship as big as Spirit off the dock is a delicate job that takes a lot of teamwork. The crew members, however, make it look easy. Finally, the moment I've been waiting for, piloting a 200-foot ship through Boston Harbor. I'm actually pretty excited because you're going to let me drive the ship, right?
I am, absolutely.
Is that the correct nautical term, drive the ship?
Pilot the vessel or...
Pilot the vessel?
All
All right, I can hear the engines going, so we're moving.
So it's a fairly quiet day in the harbor. We're just looking basically to stay clear of all the sailing vessels.
This is kind of cool. I've never.
Beautiful day.
So I am now piloting a 200-foot vessel in Boston Harbor. That's pretty cool. Sean, thanks for making it possible.
My pleasure. Nice to have you aboard.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It didn't take me long to make friends up on the deck and get into some games. Let's try that again. Nice. Ooh. But sometimes you just want to relax and enjoy the view. After taking in the skyline of Boston and a close-up of Logan Airport, it was time to wind down with a nice glass of wine on the deck. Abby Markowski of Entertainment Cruises was kind enough to join me. If you're looking for a truly unique adventure, then welcome aboard. Be sure to head into Boston for a trip aboard Spirit of Boston. It's a trip that is not to be missed. As for me, it's on to my next adventure. I had a blast with Entertainment Cruises. I was invited to check out their newly renovated Spirit of Boston ship. The food was incredible, and I have to admit, I felt like a kid again when Captain Sean McGrath invited me to take over at the wheel. I am now piloting a 200-foot vessel in Boston Harbor. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm heading back to one of my favorite towns, Salem, Massachusetts.
First and last name?
Greg Bogosian. Great, thank you very much.
You're all set.
All right,
Enjoy your stay.
I was greeted with a warm welcome back to the Salem Waterfront Hotel and Suites by owner Michael Rocket. Located right on the water at Pickering Wharf, this hotel is quickly becoming my favorite place to stay. Mike and I sat down over a cup of coffee in the Regatta Pub to talk about the future of the Salem Waterfront Hotel and Suites. Tell me about the Salem Waterfront Hotel and Suites.
Well, the building was built in 2004 by my family. It's 86 rooms, 16 condos upstairs. It's got a function facility, a restaurant.
Your hotel really stands alone as one of the biggest and the nicest hotels in the area.
Yeah, when we built it, we wanted the rooms to be very homey, boutique-y, but if you look in our rooms, the furniture is very residential. Beds are extremely comfortable. It really has a much more homey feel to it than your typical Marriott.
You are on the waterfront, obviously you're on Pickering Wharf. You have that nautical theme kind of tied in everything, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, having the marina really is a plus for the hotel. The culture, there's so many kind of cool little shops in Salem. It's a great little place. It's got a lot of culture here and new restaurants that have recently opened. We have a lot of really good restaurants in this town. It's a place where you can go and you never get tired of the food here.
Right.
At least I don't get tired of it.
No, I don't either. And thanks to you, I get to stay here.
Well, hopefully the food is as good here as it is outside.
The food is amazing here at the Regatta Pub. I love it. Mike, tell me about that expansion. You guys are going to almost double in size.
Yeah, we're adding about just under 50 rooms, but we're adding significant function space, about 5,000 square feet on the top floor.
And the Regatta Pub is an amazing restaurant, but you're going to have a new restaurant in the new building.
Yeah, it's right on the water.
Great.
It has a ton of outdoor seating, and I think it's, this place will always be here. It's a great little spot.
It is.
But we're hoping that kind of brings us to the next level as far as food and beverage goes.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, thank you very much for inviting me out again to the Salem Waterfront Hotel and Suites. I really appreciate it.
Love to have you here anytime. Cheers. After
catching up with Mike at the Regatta Pub, we grabbed one of the hotel's golf carts and took a spin around Pickering Wharf. A trip to Salem wouldn't be complete without a visit to Salem Willows. This waterfront mini amusement park has been a North Shore fixture since 1880. Sometimes it's nice to relive your childhood. Today at Salem Willows is one of those days where I get to do that. I couldn't resist grabbing some popcorn at Hobbs, a place that has been around since the mid-1880s. And I had to try to beat my old high score at skee-ball. Now, if I can only remember what my high score was. I wrapped up my trip to Salem Willows at the local fortune teller.
I see great ratings in your future.
I always enjoy my time hanging out with Mike Rocket. We had a lot of laughs at the Regatta Pub, and then tore up the streets of Salem on Mike's golf cart. Now, I'm off to Gloucester, Massachusetts. I was invited by the United States Coast Guard to visit one of the oldest and most iconic lighthouses on the eastern seaboard, Eastern Point Light. I'm with Petty Officer Bill Schofield of the U.S. Coast Guard at Eastern Point Light. Bill, how you doing, man?
Good, how you doing, Greg?
So tell me about the U.S. Coast Guard operations here at Eastern Point Light.
Well, the AIDS navigation team that I work for out of Boston is the one that maintains the light.
Mm-hmm.
It's a self-automated system, so we come out quarterly in order to make sure everything is still running.
My visit to Eastern Point Lighthouse wouldn't be complete without a look behind the scenes. Officer Schofield brought me into the lighthouse that is off limits to the public. So could you tell me a little bit about the light itself? Pretty much just self-operating? Is it on a battery pack, a generator? How does it work?
It runs off of city power. Now, if there was ever an instance where the power went out, then it has a generator backup with a diesel generator that will kick the system back on.
There was an eerie calm to it. Being allowed inside this lighthouse that has been lived in by many families over the past 2 centuries was truly special.
Going to the lens room. There's the history. Oh, cool.
We climbed the iron spiral staircase. And crawled through the hatch into the lens room to take in amazing views of the Atlantic Ocean. Silly question though, do lighthouses have keepers anymore in New England?
One does, Boston Light.
Boston Light?
Yep, Boston Light is still the only manned lighthouse in the U.S.
Where someone actually lives there?
Yes.
Okay. Lighthouses are obviously very iconic, a very New England thing. You think about New England, you can almost immediately think lighthouse. Why do we have lighthouses along up and down the coast of New England?
Lighthouses usually were placed in an area that had shoal water or a major difference in the contour of the ocean itself.
Okay.
So with Eastern Point, it's pretty much all rock facing, just underneath the water. So that would show that you have to go further south in order to get good water.
Are they used in conjunction with other lighthouses to kind of guide?
Yes, they are used in conjunction with other lighthouses in order to guide you down the coast itself. Each light has a different light characteristic to it, so you'll know where you're at.
Petty Officer Bill Schofield, United States Coast Guard. Thank you, sir, for inviting me out here. I appreciate it.
No problem, Greg.
Eastern Point Light, very cool, iconic piece of New England history. My visit to Gloucester started off with an invitation by the United States Coast Guard to Eastern Point Lighthouse. Petty Officer William Schofield gave me a private tour of the light that still serves as an operating aid to navigation. Wow. Now I'm heading over to the Coast Guard station to meet with Petty Officer First Class Devin Smith to join the crew on a patrol up the coast of Massachusetts. But first, they surprised me with an old Coast Guard rite of passage, the dewatering pump exercise.
So this is the Coast Guard P6 dewatering pump. We'll use this if we arrive on scene. There's a vessel that's going to be taking on water. Okay. It's going to dewater at about 250 gallons per minute, so quite a lot of water in a really short amount of time. Basically what we're going to allow you to do is set the pump up, let you start it, and like I said, our crewmen can get this thing up and running in about 30 seconds.
I don't know if I could do that, but okay. All right.
I'm confident in you. I think you can do it.
Okay, how long did it take you the first time you did it?
The first time I did it, that was a long time ago, so I don't remember.
He's pleading the fifth. Okay. Well, here goes nothing. With any luck, I won't drain my self-esteem with this pump.
It's complete disappointment. Might as well just jump in now. Call it a day.
We were in the middle of a P6 pump demonstration when a call came in and the Coast Guard had to scramble. The United States Coast Guard is a branch of the United States Armed Forces. Created by Congress on August 4, 1790 at the request of Alexander Hamilton, it is the oldest continuous seagoing service of the United States. Its primary roles are maritime homeland security, maritime law enforcement, search and rescue, marine environmental protection, the maintenance of river, intercoastal, and offshore aids to navigation. After witnessing a rescue on the harbor, it was time to join Officer Smith and his crew on patrol.
Clear 2 when you can. Course clear. Clear 2 when you can. All right. All right.
We're aboard a Coast Guard 47 in Gloucester Harbor with the United States Coast Guard, Petty Officer Devin Smith. Officer Smith, thank you very much for inviting me on board today.
No problem, no problem. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Awesome. So tell me about the statistics of the boat.
It's a Coast Guard 47-foot motor lifeboat. She's, in my opinion, the best search and rescue platform that we have. She's going to be used for our worst weather that Mother Nature can throw at us. She can handle seas all the way up to 30 feet and winds up to 50 knots. So when you think about that, that's a rather large storm and some rather large seas.
You don't want to be out there.
Exactly. It's all electronically controlled, so it's actually a computer system looking at everything that has to do with the engine, all the pressures and the temperatures. It's rather sophisticated piece of machinery that we have here.
Well, I have the utmost respect for the Coast Guard and what you guys do to protect the coastline of Massachusetts and the whole country, but really, a lot of people I don't think realize that the Coast Guard is really an international operation. Is that right?
We are. We might just be here at home protecting the coast and doing homeland security missions, but we're all over the world. We're over there in the Middle East helping out the Navy. We're doing counter-narcotics missions, down in the Caribbean and off of South America. Our jobs really take us all over the place. That's the thing that kind of drew me to the Coast Guard, was that unknown side of, oh, there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
There's all of these things that can kind of open up and we can do a lot of different missions.
My visit with the United States Coast Guard was memorable and educational. The members of the Coast Guard take their jobs very seriously. I didn't even get a chance to thank Petty Officer Smith on camera because just when we were getting ready to do that, the alarm sounded again and the crew was off. In this episode, I was very fortunate to be able to visit with a couple of my good friends, and I met some new ones along the way. In Boston, I boarded the Spirit of Boston, and Captain Sean McGrath handed me the wheel to the boat. I am now piloting a 200-foot vessel. Then, I drove to Salem to meet up with my good friend Michael Rocket at the Salem Waterfront Hotel and Suites. The United States Coast Guard invited me to Eastern Point Lighthouse in Gloucester, and Petty Officer Schofield gave me a behind-the-scenes private tour. I wrapped up my trip at the Coast Guard station in Gloucester, where I got a little humbled by a dewatering pump exercise.
Might as well just jump in now.
Petty Officer Smith then invited me aboard a 47-foot motorized lifeboat for a patrol with his crew along the coast of Massachusetts. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Greg Bogosian. I'll see you next time on The New England Traveler.